We have some good Tesla stock news today, and actually, you'll be surprised, but this time Tesla stock is actually up on good news. That is not always the case, and also the market is not really up, but Tesla stock is up. Clearly, Tesla is doing something, and let me show you what Tesla is up to right now. Elon currently is reportedly in China, and I think the stock market really likes that, but also the delivery numbers within China based on insurance numbers look really good. The 2 weeks before this last week, we were at about 10,000 deliveries per week, but now we are at 13,000, which is better than what we were doing in the last quarter. There's a good possibility that the deliveries may still accelerate towards the end of a quarter like they usually do. But even if we just continue at this pace, this I think is looking to be a record quarter within China again. Although if deliveries do accelerate towards the end of a quarter, I expect the acceleration to be slower than usual because the delivery wave has been flattened by quite a bit this quarter already. It's pretty straight. And within China, the first 2 months of this quarter are the best 2 first months of any quarter so far within China. The Tesla team is doing great. And Tesla sold roughly as many EVs last week in China alone as Ford sold in January, February, and March put together globally. The daily reporting countries in Europe also look really good actually. See how the sales grew exponentially here. We are getting away from the previous quarter. So yeah, it's looking pretty good actually. Now let's talk about Elon's visit to China. Tesla opposes decoupling and is willing to continue to expand its business in China, according to a statement from the Chinese Foreign Ministry. Now let's talk about Elon's visit to China. Tesla opposes decoupling and is willing to continue to expand its business in China, according to a statement from the Chinese Foreign Ministry. And China's foreign minister, who was until recently China's ambassador to the US, he said that China's electric vehicle market has broad prospects for development and that China will continue to open up and create a better market-oriented and law-based business environment for foreign firms like Tesla. That is good news. As a Tesla stock investor, this is what I worry about the most. What happens if, for a geopolitical reason, for example, Tesla loses access to China? I think Tesla would be okay, but there would be some damage, certainly in the short to medium term. Elon also praised the Chinese people and China's achievements, which is something that you should do always if you do business in China. So obviously Elon knows that there are some things that you should not say. And Elon has been pretty consistent about China and not slipping out there. I'm sure Gary likes that about as much as he likes seeing good delivery numbers in China. As you know, I'm a bit more of a dog person, but there's this one cat that I like, and especially today, I really like this cat. The quarter is still progressing nicely. Europe's month 2, May, should exceed Q1. Month 2, which is February, and China is progressing towards another record. The wild card and the dark horse remains the US, which last quarter, James thought that it would do a little bit better and it didn't, but China did reach a new record, and that was great. So the overperformance of the US can of course lead to a big positive surprise, but for now, James thinks that 450,000 deliveries, I think that's a reasonable number, he says basically. And actually, he thinks that 480,000 is possible this quarter. 450,000 deliveries this quarter would actually be a pretty big deal because Troy is only at 437,000, and currently the analyst consensus as of May 7th actually was 446,000. Also, just a reminder to be a little bit careful when you see something from a Twitter account that you don't know. It might be an old photo, for example, like this photo was, because someone said Elon is already in Shanghai, but it turned out to be a photo of Elon visiting Beijing in 2019. But Elon is indeed in China today, and he actually also met the CEO of CATL. CATL provides batteries to Tesla in large amounts. With the foreign minister, Elon probably talked about full self-driving, which would be good because Regulatory approval, of course, is going to be in China, maybe a bit difficult once Tesla solves full self-driving. And maybe we will see FSD beta being released in China as well if these stocks went well. Elon is also expected to visit Giga Shanghai, and maybe, just maybe, we will see that new refresh Model 3 being launched. That is, though, of course, firmly in the rumor category for now. We don't know the date for that kind of thing yet. I found another snippet of what Elon Musk just said. Tesla is opposed to decoupling and the disconnection of a supply chain and is willing to continue to expand its business in China and share the opportunities of China's development. Some companies are moving away from China and are trying to not depend on China as much. In Tesla's case, I think Tesla is going to keep continuing the expansion within China, but the expansion outside of China will accelerate, therefore making China less important, but expansion will continue within China. So in a certain way, we are getting away from China while still investing further within China. Ross Gerber is feeling pretty optimistic about Tesla's future prospects in China. And this is definitely my favorite story of today. Our enemies are getting destroyed. Tesla Q Bear ETF is getting liquidated. Even some smart people still to this day have not figured out that it is not just unwise to bet against Elon, it is flat out stupid to do that usually, and this is how it ends most of the time, eventually, in the end. Don't be stupid, I mean, don't bet against Elon. By which, of course, I mean, do not be stupid. But some will just never learn their lesson. These Tesla bears are more stubborn than this dog. And if you thought they don't have any more good news for Tesla stock today, think again, because another investigation was just closed. This one was in relation to 580,000 Teslas over the automaker's decision to initially allow games to be played on the front center touchscreen. We need to grab Nisa by the chest and just carry it away so it stops wasting Teslas and everybody else's time as well as taxpayer resources. Some investigations, of course, are started for a good reason, but when it comes to Tesla, usually there's nothing there. This is pretty cool. Tesla owners will now have the ability to track tire mileage with the latest software update. This is just another example of how Tesla vehicles get better just with software updates after you bought the vehicle. The latest Tesla FSD version is going out to about 15 to 20% of eligible Teslas. I will have to check mine, although I'm usually the last one to get any significant updates. If you are a Canadian and you get these updates quickly before most other people do, please leave a comment down below. I feel like Canada is just excluded from all of this fun, but maybe it's just me being excluded, which I guess makes it worse. If you are into stock astrology, there is one bullish sign, and that is Tesla closing above its 200-day moving average for the first time since September 21 of 2022. Dylan shows us how this looks on a chart. This is the moving average, and this is where we are right now. Clearly, we are just a tiny little bit above this line. Now, it doesn't mean that Tesla stock will definitely go up a whole lot, but it could be an interesting moment. Although if you do look at the past, yeah, just because we went above that line, we did not go way up. But a lot of Wall Street guys are looking at this and they have some money, and they actually place some trades based on things like this. But in the long term, the only thing that truly really matters is how successful will Tesla be as a company, not as a stock, but as a company, because if a company is successful, the stock eventually, and when I say eventually, it may take quite a while from here, but eventually, if a company does well, the stock does well too. The crazy lady who is also, or was, a Tesla customer, the one that climbed one of the automaker's cars at the 2021 Shanghai Auto Show, has lost yet another lawsuit against Tesla. That is my favorite kind of news, really. There are a lot more job openings for the Cybertruck to be produced. Clearly, this time Tesla is not messing around, and Tesla is going to make the Cybertruck a reality this year, which will be another loss for the Tesla stock bears as well as people who go against Tesla. I mean, people like that would not have guessed that the sales in Thailand would actually pick up and that Tesla would have to open a huge flagship EV store in Bangkok. Nvidia today, for a brief moment, reached a $1 trillion market cap. A big shout out goes to all of Nvidia stock investors. Although Gary Black is excited about Nvidia, he's not recommending actually that folks buy Nvidia stock here. In this video, I talk about Tesla starting to advertise. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. This summarized today perfectly. That person kicking Tesla is a Tesla stock bear, and Tesla stands up here and bam, this is what happened today. The whole day today was like this.